Hey guys, welcome back to my new video. So today I'll be doing a trial deck, or rather start deck opening of the new series Cardfight Vanguard Overdress. So these are quite cheap decks since they're start decks. So as you can see, they're 333 yen each. So let's say over here in SGD I got it about $6 around there. So yeah. So how they started it off is there's a new mechanic called Persona, right? So basically as you ride the same unit over it, your front row gets plus 10k, if I'm not wrong. And then the other difference is that it has this other segment called ride deck. So basically you don't ride. You can ride normally from hand, but then there's like, if you misgrade, there is that pile where you drop a card from your hand, then you can choose the grade from your ride deck and ride it onto the Vanguard circle. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get on to it. So now the clan, there are no more clans that are playing by nations base. So this is Dragon Empire, Dark Stage, which was originally oh no, I can't remember the proper nation name. I think Dark Gates or something, I can't remember. And there's Cater Sanctuary, which was United Sanctuary last time. Yeah, but then due to some laws and shit, that's why some of the nations name changed except for Dragon Empire. Yeah. So the other two remaining nations started will be coming in next month if I'm not wrong, which is Stoecha and Brandgate. Yep, so without further ado, let's just open them and let's go. Alright, I'm back. So I decided to cut a video because I'm just gonna review all these three in one shot, but I'll do clan nation by nation. So I just decided to rip everything out from the boxes and then just do this usual shit. So basically the start deck comes with the chart deck. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. The start deck itself and the playmat here. So as you can see, there's the order zone, there's the damage zone, drop zone, and then you have the deck and the right zone here. So these are where you place your starter, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, which is one of each. So without further ado, let's go through the Dragon Empire first. So what Dragon Empire focuses on with this new mechanic is called Overdress. So basically you stack it on top of a specific card and then you go overdress it. Yeah. So let's go. So for grade 3 we have Chakra Bhati Divine Dragon Nirvana. You get 4 copies, I believe. And since this is a start deck, only the main boss monster will be in foil. So if you want a full foil, you can get him for cheap. So yeah, you only can't get one grade 3 because of the right deck. So yeah, let me just put the rest here first. So 4 copies of him. So basically what he does is, give me a moment. On the Vanguard circle, act once per turn, discard a card from your hand, choose a grade 0 card from the drop and call it to rearguard circle. The grade 0 card will be reviewed later since it's part of the deck. Next is Auto Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks, Counter Blast 1 and this unit and all of your units with the Overdress ability gets 10,000 plus N of power. So this is pretty much a good boost for Overdress skill based units. Yep, so how you can tell if it's a persona, right, is basically this sign here. Focus. This sign here. So as long as you persona, right, your front row gets 10k. I believe you have to write the same unit over, then you can gain it. I don't think you can write another unit with persona, right? I'm not sure. I haven't read much about it yet. Next, we're moving on to grade 2s. We have 4 copies of Blazing Maiden Ryu. So what she does is basically, when this unit is rolled upon by this grade 3, which is this card here, yeah, she gains the following skill, which is Soul Blast 1, search your deck for up to 1 Virina, review it and put it to your hand and then shuffle your deck. So yeah, so basically the whole right deck is just to make sure you have the chain right to gain each skill. That's the new part about Overdress now. Then the second effect is, during the battle that this unit attack, it gets 2k. So it's a 12k attacker on the Vanguard and Rearguard circle. Then next is the grade 1 chain, which is this card. Hold on. Blazing Maiden Reno. And you have your starter here. I'll explain it later. Then the rest is what's in the deck. So for the grade 1 will be, her skill will be when you write the grade 2 over her, you can search your deck for up to 1 card called Trickstar. call it to rearguard circle, and shuffle your deck. Trickstar will be reviewed later, which is the grade 0 with grade 0 staple of this whole deck. Yeah. Then the second effect is during the battle that this unit attack, it gets plus 2k. So it's your decent 10k attacker for Vanguard rearguard for grade 1. So yeah. Next is your starter. I think this is pretty standard for every starter, just like the V series. When this unit is rolled upon, if you are going second, you draw one card. So it's basically if you played Vanguard 0, you draw an extra card. Or rather, still in V lah, but just that you only draw one additional card when you go second. So the whole base is just you have to make sure you have the correct chain to ride, and then you gain all this advantage. So now moving on to the whole deck, which is the next grade 3, which is called Fire/Dragon Infernal Sword. You get 3 copies. So what he does is basically continuous. During the battle that this unit attack, this unit gets plus 2k, so it's a 15k attacker. Ah yes, it still remains, the 15k base is still there. Next is the one of the staple, which is Virina. You get 4 copies. It's a very cool looking design, as you can see. There's like a red color layer all over it. Yeah. So this is the card that has the Overdress ability, which is Trickstar. So what Overdress does is you may place it by stacking it on the specified unit instead of normal calling it to rearguard circle. Yeah. Then when this unit in the Overdress state attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets plus 10k until end of battle. Then you may Soul Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rearguard and retire it. So yeah, this is a retire unit. This is just to burn your opponent's field. You can choose not to overdress and just normal call it as a normal unit. Yeah. Okay. Next is you have your 8k vanilla, which is Iron Ball Dragon Enki Bowler. 3 copies. Nothing much, it's just a 8k vanilla. Then I believe this is your perfect guard, Escort Stealth Dragon Hayashikaze. Your standard perfect guard, what it does is basically same thing. When it's placed on the Guardian Circle, choose one card and discard a card from your hand, and then choose one of your units. It cannot be hit until end of battle. So as you can see, this is because it's Dragon Empire, so you see a mix of every single clan in Dragon Empire, which are similar looking to each other. Yeah. So next is this card, Trickstar. The one other grade 0 normal unit in this deck. So Trickstar is basically on the rearguard circle. This cannot be chosen by your opponent card effects. Yeah. So for Variana to overdress, you call Trickstar onto the field. Then you can stack over him, and then it becomes overdress state. Yeah. For more, I'll leave the link down below for more rulings on overdress, so it's easier for y'all to know. Yeah. Okay. Next, I believe we are moving to triggers, which is your over trigger. This is our over trigger. So over trigger is basically you may only have one over trigger in a deck. When reviewed as a trigger, remove that card, draw a card, choose one of your units, and it gets 100 million until end of turn. If reviewed during draft check, this card activates its additional effect. So this is the additional effect. Choose one of your unit and it gets 100 million until end of turn. Yeah, that's about it. So I guess your opponent, so I believe it gets 200 million. Yes, you can give your Vanguard 200 million, or you can do a separate effect and just pump to another rearguard. So I believe now all nations have front draw. All nations have front triggers now. So it's your standard rainbow triggers kind of trial deck start deck now. So you have 4 crates, 4 draws, 3 front. Oh my god, so sorry. It's 3 fronts because there's 1 over trigger here, and then 4 heals. And then after that you get this normal order. So this normal order is Sunburst Evolution. So the cost is Counter Blast 1 to play this card. Choose one of your units and it gets power plus 5k until end of turn. Choose a Virina from your drop and return it to your hand. So basically this is just recycling your Virina that got retired, or it's in a drop lah. It's a recycle normal order. So you can use this during your turn. If I'm not wrong, that's how normal order works. Yep, so that's about it for the Dragon Empire one. So let's move on to the next one. Let me just clean up this mess. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is Dark States. I believe Dark States is all about the soul or something like that. Yep. Alright, so let's go. So first you have your main boss, which is Violence Bruce. Diablo's Violence Bruce. Okay, I'll just show the chain right straight away. Next is this 4 copies of this card, which is Diablo's Anger Richard, and then the great one, Diablo's Bad Steve. That's a weird name. Next is your starter, Diablo's Innocent Mac. Yep. So beginning from Violence Bruce, he's a Persona Right unit as well. So it's the standard when you Persona Right, your front row gets 10k. So for his first effect, at the start of your right phase, you Final Rush. Specific units gets powered up when you are in Final Rush. This is what Final Rush does. It is a skill to trigger. So it's like, how do I say? Like in Kagero, oh my god, I can't remember that keyword. Basically, Blaze, yes. Something like Blaze kind of keyword. Next is when this unit attacks, if you are in Final Rush, Soul Blast 5 and stand off your front row rear guards. So Diablos is, so Violence Bruce is more of a extra attacker kind of deck. So yeah, I guess that's what you can call it lah. Okay, next is the Grade 2, which is Diablo's Anger Richard. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, put a rear guard into your soul and draw 1 card. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets plus 5k on the rear guard circle. So it's a 15k if you Final Rush. Or rather, I think when you write Violence Bruce, it becomes a 15k. Next is the Great One, which is Diablo's Bad Steve. So what he does is, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, choose a card from your soul, call it to your back row, center, rear guard, and soul charge 1. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets plus 5k for rear guard circle. So it's a 15k and a 13k unit, Grade 1, Grade 2. So this is how the chain works. And then there's your standard starter, which is if when this unit is rolled upon, if you are going second, you draw 1. So basically how this works, how this chain works is you write the Grade 1 and you call it down. Then next you write the Grade 2. You write the Grade 1, move it down, then you soul charge, which is 1 card in the soul. You write and then go in to draw 1, so you have 3 cards in the soul. Then you write Violence Bruce, which is 4 cards now. Then next turn you write another Violence Bruce to gain the 5 soul to restand and attack. So I guess that's how Dark State works. Still remains about the soul kind of thing. So let's move on to the normal stuff, which is, okay, for the Grade 3 we have 4 Time Featuring Feast Colossus. It's a Persona Right unit. You get a 10k vanilla. Next is the Grade 2, which is Steam Gunner Brody. So let's go through this Grade 3. So for Time Featuring Colossus, the skill is when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, soul charge 1. Then if you are in Final Rush, Counter Blast 1, and this unit gets power plus 15k until end of turn. So it's a 28k attacker. Yeah, and it helps you pump the soul, which is good. Then you have a standard 10k vanilla. Sadly, all the vanillas have reverted back to their 5k shields, and it's no longer like V series where your 10k vanilla is a 10k shield. Yep. Next is Steam Gunner Brody. So what he does is, when this unit is put into your Guardian Circle, Counter Blast 1, and this unit gets shield plus 5k until end of battle. That's about it, so it's a 10k shield. Moving on to Grade 1s. I don't think there's any Grade 0s, right? Acrobat Presenter, you get 4 copies. Then your Perfect Guard, which is called Psychic Prima Miranda. Yeah, so what Acrobat Presenter does is, On Rearguard Circle, when this unit attacks or boosts, if your Vanguard is Diablo's Violence Bruce, Soul Charge 1, and if you are in Final Rush, Soul Charge 1. So basically this start deck has mainly a lot of cards for you to there are many ways for you to find the soul. Yep. And then as usual, over trigger, I don't need to explain since I explained it already. 1 copy, and then your standard 4 crits, 4 draws, 3 fronts, 4 heal, and then you get 3 order cards, which is, hold on, let me see. The order card, I believe it's called Brother's Soul. So when you cast this, just Soul Charge 2, that's it. It's literally the text there, just Soul Charge 2. So it's just another way to help you pump the soul. So that's it for the Dark States one. So yeah. So Dark States, I think Dark States is really a good start deck for everyone who wants to try. For those who likes to rush and stuff. Yeah. Because the start deck itself literally give you like a lot of cards to soul charge already, so it's a really good point. Yeah. So now moving on to the last one, which is Cater Sanctuary, which was originally United Sanctuary. Do take note that Cater Sanctuary isn't the usual Cater Sanctuary how it works. This playstyle is quite different and has a lot of great trees from the list. I'll leave a link down below for each different start decks, so y'all can see clearly and see which start deck y'all want to start with. So without further ado, let's go. So I'm gonna do the chain right first, which is, so this is the boss unit, which is Apex Ruler Bastion. Then the grade 2, which is Knight of Heavenly Spear Rooks, 4 copies as well. And then 4 copies of the grade 1 right chain, which is Knight of Heavenly Sword Fort. And then next is the starter Knight of Heavenly Bow base. So beginning with Bastion. It's a Persona right unit as well. So what Bastion does is, continuous during your turn, all of your grade 3 unit gets power plus 2k. Second effect, auto once per turn. At the end of the battle that your joy check reveal a grade 3, discard a card from your hand, choose one of your rear guards and stand it, and it gets power plus 10k until end of turn. So so the condition of this is you have to joy check grade 3, so that's why, therefore this start deck has a lot of grade 3s for you to joy check and get and trigger his skill. Next is the grade 2, Knight of Heavenly Spear Rooks. When this unit is rolled upon by Apex Ruler Bastion, reveal 3 grade 3 cards from your hand and draw 1 card. So the whole point of this deck is just you need to have grade 3s. Next is Continuous Rearguard. During your turn, if you have 3 or more grade 3 units, this unit gets boost and plus 5k. So it's a 15k booster if you have 3 grade 3 units. So I guess the whole main point is to have grade 3 units in your front row. So it's basically a Morikawa base deck. Next is Knight of Heavenly Sword Fort. So what Fort does is when this unit is rolled upon by Knight of Heavenly Spear Rooks, which is the grade 2, call it to Rearguard Circle and if it is okay, hold on. Review 2, before that, when you write the grade 2 above him, you review 2 grade 3 cards from your hand, review the top card of your deck, call it to Rearguard Circle. If it is a unique card, call it to Rearguard Circle if it is a unique card, and put into your drop if it isn't. So basically, if you review the top card and it's a trigger unit, you put it to drop zone. If it's a normal unit, you call it now. Next is Act Rearguard Circle. Once per turn, cover plus 1, choose one of your grade 3 vanguards and it gets plus 5k until end of battle. So it's a small 5k boost, which might make a big difference, you never know. So the standard, when rolled upon, if you go second, you draw 1. Alright, let's move on. I think there's a lot of grade 3s to go through, so let me just slowly shift them up. So grade 3s, I get, hold on, I get 4 copies of Vehement Witch Ramana, Knight of Broke Axe Roughlooks, so it's only 8 grade 3s. Okay, cool, I guess. Okay, so for the first grade 3, Vehement Witch Ramana, auto Rearguard Circle. When this unit attacks, count plus 1 and this unit gets plus 5k until end of battle, so it's a 18k attack. Next is Knight of Broke Axe Roughlook. Act Rearguard. Put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your grade 3 Rearguards and it gets power plus 10k until end of turn. So mainly your grade 3s are this and Bastion at the front row. Okay, next we have the grade 1s, which is 3 of the vanilla. Vanilla units, it doesn't do much. Still a standard 5k shield. 2 of this doggy. 4 perfect guards. So I'm not gonna say much because it's a vanilla. And then next is this doggy, which is platinum move. So act rearguard circle, soul plus 2, and this unit gets power plus 5k until end of turn. So that's about it. Then next you have your perfect guard, which is discard a card from your hand, choose one of your units, and it doesn't get hit until end of turn. And then as usual, over trigger 1 copy, 4 crits, 4 draws, 3 fronts, and 4 heals. And then you have your order, which is a grade 3 as well. The order, I believe the skill is Counter Blast. Play this with Counter Blast 2, draw 2 cards, choose one of your units, and it gets power plus 5k until end of turn. So just saying, because it's a grade 3, it can be used to like do the reviewing part for one of the units. I think the grade 1 or Bastion. Yeah, I think when you just check, this is considered grade 3 because the grade is there, which is a good part. So with that, I've come to the end of the video. Do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and do comment down below to tell us what you guys want to see next. So see you guys next time. Bye.